Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing barrels and practicing for shows, so I thought I'd take you guys with me. I set everything up. Now I'm going to get on with it. So we're just warming up, walking around, start doing some circles. Alright, so we start off by walking around. I was making sure that Leroy was moving off of my legs and was listening, and then we moved into our trot. So we trotted around, did some circles, changed directions, asked him for an extended trot, collected, and then we went to the canter. So we cantered around both directions, we counter cantered a little bit, and I was just making sure that he was fluid with his movements and we were having a nice warm-up. So Leroy was definitely being really lazy in the warm-up, and I was struggling to get him to keep going, and so I was a little worried about how that might have our practice be. But we went into practicing, and we started off by going to the pattern at just a simple trot, slow canter, and I was just kind of seeing where he was at. This was kind of our first barrel practice since last summer when there was a ton of shows, because I haven't been doing as much, or at least our first kind of serious practice. But I also think that with anything, if you just do it over and over and over again with a horse, they'll get bored or they'll get, blown up. And so I don't really practice the barrel pattern a ton. I'll do variations of it, I'll do the circles for it, but I really make sure that I'm not just practicing it over and over. But today was definitely one of the days where I wanted to see how the pattern would be, and I really worked on the circles of the pattern and lining ourselves up good and having, a consistent canter or trot to each barrel. I mean, it's a cone in this case, but you know what I mean. So I really worked on having that consistency, because I think some things you'll find issues when you're doing the actual pattern, and you do need to do it here and there, or ask them for a full effort pattern here and there, because I think it is good and it will show you things you have to work on, and if you need to work on circles more or just work on doing one barrel. So I think doing the pattern here and there can be really good, and that's what we were doing today. And as you guys see, I've been, did it over and over and worked on the circles and the consistency, and Leroy's being really lazy. So then I was offered if I wanted to try spurs on him. And I've always been a little iffy about spurs because I always thought they were all bad, and people who use them aren't great people and they just kick their horses, and that's all you really see. But at the same time, not everyone does that, and I think if you are educated, then it's okay for you to use spurs. And so I tried them out. I was very gentle, and if he wouldn't go off my leg, then I give him a little spur, and he definitely responded really well. Now, one thing to know about Leroy is that he came from a past where he was abused, and he's very, very dull to any leg pressure. You really have to kick him. And so I was just kind of thinking back, and I was like, is it really better if I have to just kick him and kick him and kick him, or if I, wear spurs and give him a little nudge with the spurs and he'll just go? So I'm kind of torn at that point right now, but it definitely made our session a lot better, and he was listening more, and we were able to get some really nice turns. And by not having to focus so much on the speed and constantly kicking him, I think it really helped me be able to help him work his front end and be able to move his shoulders, because I was dropping my hand and I could focus more on my body position and leaning forward halfway around the barrel and letting him move off. And so I think it was a really good choice and a really good thing for me to try. But that's just kind of how I feel about spurs. But I think that it really did help us out, and I think they're a good tool. They're an extension of your leg, and when used properly, then I think they can be a really good training aid to help you out with things that you're struggling with. But yeah, so we had a really nice practice overall. Leroy had a really nice couple turns where he really used his body and chucked us around that cone, and that's kind of what you want. You want them to move you around the barrel, and you just kind of stick with them. We're cooling out by strolling around the property, and Leroy was really good. So once we get inside, I'm gonna do all of his aftercare, but it was really good practice. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed our barrel racing vlog. It was really fun, and I'm honestly really happy with how we did. I think trying out spurs was a good decision, and like I talked about while I was actually doing the barrel runs, I talked about using spurs and my thoughts and perspectives on it. But yeah, Leroy seemed to have lots of energy, and I'm very excited for shows because that was a really good run. Of course, we'll do more practice and stuff like that, but I'm very excited for this summer, for shows and everything like that. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today. Oh my goodness. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm bribing Leroy with cookies right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!